afternoon's author event. Today, Tattered Cover is proud to present Michelle Breyer, co-founder of Naturally Curly, and she will be discussing her book, Curl Revolution. Are we all set?
Well, it's really wonderful to be here today. I love Colorado. It's like the best curl weather in the world. And there's actually like a really great curl community. Thank you to Shape Salon, Curl Factory, Mop Factory, all the Rocky Mountain Curls, all the great salons here, Curl Factory.
No, the station.
Station. Oh God. That's why I need to take notes.
Yeah.
But really, some of the superstars of the curly world here in Denver. So a lot of lucky curly girls here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book and how it came to be. How many of you are familiar with Naturally Curly? Actually, I have been to events where they didn't know about Naturally Curly, so I'm glad that you guys have heard of it. As many of you with curly hair know, it is a blessing and a curse. Depending on when you grew up, it was viewed kind of as a curse, and it was not something that was considered the standard of beauty. And I grew up in California, where the standard of beauty was feathered hair, long, straight hair, and I had a straight-haired mother and a straight-haired sister. So my mother didn't know what to do with my hair, so she cut it into a pixie until I was in 8th grade, and then I decided I was going to style it myself and let it grow, and I would brush my hair, and that earned me the nickname Bozo. But as I've learned in writing the book and just having the site, everybody has a nickname. Curly hair comes to define you. So flash forward about 20 years, I was living in Texas. I used to straighten my hair, had an elaborate routine of blowing it out and putting in hot rollers and spraying it with Freeze and Shine from Paul Mitchell. Texas, it was not going to happen there. Texas was going to dictate what my hair did, so I decided finally to just kind of let it do its thing. And that was a hard thing to do because there was no information for people with curly hair. There were no stylists who were trained in how to cut curly hair. There were no products. There was nothing in magazines. I mean, even the Glamour magazine hair issue every year would have 10 models with straight hair. Straight hair parted in the middle, straight hair with bangs, straight hair in a bob. So I had to figure it out myself, and I was lucky that I had two curly friends who I would regularly bitch with about our hair, and we would compare products. And we happened to be at a brunch one day having one of our regular bitch sessions, and somebody overheard us. And I'm still thankful that this person was sitting there laughing at us because he said, have you ever thought of starting a website or a magazine? There's got to be other people out there like you. So we'd had enough mimosas to think that was a good idea. And so we started creating this place. Like, what do we want this to be? What is the information people with curly hair need? They want to find stylists who know how to cut their curly hair. First and foremost, all of us have PTSD from the bad haircuts we've gotten. They want to find out about products. At this point, there were no curl products, but there were products that worked well. Mousse or whatever else was out there. And they also wanted to share their stories more than anything. This is a community that learns from each other. So that's what Naturally Curly became. So 20 years later, this is our 20th anniversary this year.
Wow, congratulations.
It's hard to believe, but at the site, the community is still pretty much the same. It's bigger. We reach about 14 million people a month through all of our social media platforms, but they still want to share their stories, and they still want to talk about products. Now there are hundreds of products for them to talk about. They want to find out good stylists. they can come and read reviews on the site. But ultimately, having curly hair is something that is a part of your psyche. It is a part of who you are. And I thought I would read what was my favorite chapter in the book, which is why does it even matter, really, having curly hair? Because I had a lot of people throughout the time of creating Naturally Curly who would ask me, it's just hair. Like, I don't get it. Why do you need a whole website for people with curly hair? And
They
I
have
don't know.
straight hair.
Yeah, obviously. But if you don't have curly hair, it's hard to explain it to somebody. It's hard to explain it. So, as I was writing the book, I had all my chapters written, and then there just seemed to be something missing. So, living the curly life really is that chapter. Gather a group of curlies, and you'll hear heartbreaking stories about the bullying they endured, the low self-esteem they suffered, and the desperate measures they took because of their hair. There's the frustration of having little control over their hair, and the envy that comes with not fitting in with the accepted standard of beauty. Many have grown up being told they have nappy or bad hair. Living curly means having cabinets full of hair products, yet still searching for your new holy grail. As curl pioneer Guida described it, a straight-haired person is just a head of hair. I don't mean that for anyone here. I have lots of straight-haired friends. You're wonderful. A curly-haired person is a head with a lifetime of experiences. So, I think I've been really excited to be a part of. It really is a revolution. 20 years ago, even though 60% of the population has curly hair, it was really it was ignored. And today, I think we are the most exciting thing happening in the hair world. Now everybody wants to get into curly hair. Every company has a product for curly hair. Sadly enough, not enough stylists are trained in curly hair still, which is why we appreciate you guys so much. But it's a different world today. I think it really hit me, and the book kind of came out of walking around the office one day. We have something called the Editor's Choice Award, where all the companies send us their latest products, and then we give awards. So for 2015, there were shelves. I mean, we had to buy new shelves to put all the products that companies had sent us, and it was this kind of aha moment of, wow, look at where we are today. And it's not just about products. It's just about this, products come out of a realization that we matter, that we're important, that our needs are important. And that is a pretty amazing thing. So, I think it was nice to kind of pull together all the people who have been a part of this revolution, because we were just one little part of it. All these things were happening all over the world. You had people like Lisa Price who were creating products in their kitchen because they couldn't find stuff for their own hair. The people at Diva Curl who were creating their own techniques because they didn't feel like they were learning the proper way to cut curly hair in cosmetology school. And you had people like us and like a lot of the bloggers and bloggers who said, the media is not covering us, they're ignoring us, so we're going to create our own channels, our own websites, our own YouTube channels, and we're not going to wait for things to happen to us. So I really think the curl revolution is about empowerment more than anything. So anyway, that's
She shakes her curls.
But what's been really beautiful about the tour, this is I think the 15th place that we've been, and every step of the tour, whether it's Toronto or LA or Baltimore, people have shared their stories, and it's amazing to hear people's curl stories. And I would love to hear your own journeys, and if you feel like sharing them. If you don't, I feel like I'm putting you on the spot. If you want to come up afterwards and talk to me about them, or talk to everybody about them in a less kind of formal fashion, but I've heard some of the funniest, most heartbreaking stories from just such a variety of people of all ages, all ethnicities, all texture types. Just this bonding experience of people sharing how they feel and how their hair is kind of defining them.
I'll say something. I'm not curly haired, as you can very well see, but when I was growing up, the big thing was always a perm. And I always got the real tight, wrinkly, perms because it just looked so beautiful. And the minute that I could cut my hair off because it was so much work, I felt bad for the curly girls because it was so much work to keep it up. And at least with me, I knew that I could go back to being straight. I mean, but with people with curly hair, they have so much work where they have to, really straighten it and fight with it. And so that's one reason why we have our salon the way we do, is because we knew that was a big issue for anybody that does all that.
How far do people drive to have their hair?
We have them from Castle Rock all the way up through Wyoming, Kansas. We have a couple clients that come in from Switzerland every year.
Wow.
We have a couple clients that come in from London. They're all over. I wouldn't even tell you.
Will travel.
Oh yeah, they definitely will. Or if they're on vacation, they come in and see us. So
Well, keep doing what you're doing.
thanks.
Hi.
So I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I was involved with this foundation, and every year the organizer put on a fashion show using women who had breast cancer. And this was just like 4 years ago. It was a big anniversary thing for her. And they brought in people to do our hair, and we got clothes from stores in Cherry Creek, and we had people doing the makeup. And I said, I think it would be fun if you could just pin my hair up and have a cascade of curls. But no, they had a flat iron my hair, and and it's fun. Every now and then I would get my hair flat ironed, and it's like the hairstylist would say, oh look, your hair moves. And I never thought about, when it's straight. But after they did my hair, the message was curly hair isn't acceptable.
Yeah.
It's not good enough, and we have to straighten it. And every time I've gone in, I've been lucky to get a couple of makeovers that I've won. They always straight iron or blow dry your hair instead of working with your natural curls.
I just spoke to a woman who was on What Not to Wear, and she has super curly hair, and they straightened her hair, and she said that was the most traumatic thing. Like, she just didn't feel like herself.
Yeah.
It was bad enough that her husband had secretly nominated her for What Not to Wear because he thought her style needed changing.
Not sure if that's a compliment or a.
But yeah, she actually wanted to submit a story because she felt like that was such a message to her that this key part of her was not good enough.
Well, I'm a stylist for 30 years. I've been a curly girl all my life, and I decided I've been studying with Deva for the last 12 years. I'm one of their stylists here locally, trained in New York. And really finding friends among curlies is super important because it is a community, as you mentioned. I meet women, they come into my studio, and they're a stranger when they walk in, and they give me a hug when they walk out because they're just so happy to have somebody
Life-changing.
who understands curls.
Yeah.
And who said, okay, I was really nervous when I came in here. That's why I have lavender going on in salon. Because that helps calm them down. But they leave friends. So it is important.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I always walk up to people like on subways or on the street. It's like the horror of my 17-year-old daughter, and start conversations. A lot of those people have ended up being like writers for us. About 3 weeks ago, I was in New York and I was walking out of a restaurant, and there were these two people who were helping me find a subway, and one of them had her hair. She was transitioning to locks, and we started talking, and she's like, "Oh, naturally curly. I love naturally curly." She's like, "Can I write for you guys?" And it turned out she was a backup singer for Sam Smith. And she's like, "You don't know how your site changed my life when I was transitioning from relaxers to natural hair." And then I heard her story. It was this beautiful, heartbreaking story. I mean, it's just amazing to me how recent some of these stories are. I think there's an assumption that we've arrived, but I think it's still a journey for a lot of people. In fact, a woman who's a human resource manager emailed me to say that there was a podcast of human resource people talking about would you hire somebody if they came to interview with curly hair.
Mhm.
I know. I mean, it sounds crazy,
They
but
don't
it's
take us serious.
they better.
Some of my friends are, they're VPs of banks and, upper echelon in business, and they just think that if you have curly hair, you're not taken seriously. So all these girls, they straighten their hair to go to work, and then they're curly on the weekends.
Yeah, curly on the weekends. We're actually going to have something on the site called it's the curl coming out of the curl closet, where people are going to be encouraged to help a friend or people who want to, because there was something about celebrities. It was like 10 celebrities who secretly are curly, showing them walking out of a Starbucks like this or something. And I was like, God, like, the more people see curly hair, the more comfortable. But I mean, it's more than 60% of the population, so get comfortable.
Has there been any kind of maybe like anthropological studies as to why people with curly hair are perceived the way they are?
I think actually somebody sent me this long thesis he had done, and it was mainly about men though, like the Greek gods had curly hair, and then through history, like Botticelli, but he didn't really address like the last 200 years, which is where I think the real issues I think have come. Maybe it's multiculturalism. I actually think the more diverse we become, the more acceptable texture is becoming. But it would be an interesting thesis. Maybe I'll go back to school and do one. Anybody else? Everyone's got a story. My friend Lisa has hair stories, but hers are all about my hair's perfectly straight.
Yeah.
Perfect to bob.
We have our own hair issues.
Yes.
But probably what would speak to everybody is, and how the whole phrase of a bad hair day came about, is, your hair, even if you're not somebody who does spend hours styling your hair, if you're not feeling good about your hair, you just don't have a great day.
No,
You don't.
No.
And so that's why, a lot of people maybe especially feel like they can't relate to some of the stories, but that is why it does become so important and emotional in so many people's lives.
Yeah, it's a part of yourself that you don't have as much control over, I think, too. Like your hair. I think the more I accepted that I didn't have control of my hair, the happier I became. And just like this is what it's doing today, and there's not a lot you can do about it, and you just have to kind of embrace it. Any questions?
I can share a little bit. So obviously I've been curly most of my life, but my mom didn't really know how to style my hair, so I wasn't aware that my hair was curly until I was in 12th grade, when the hairstylist said, "Wow, your hair's curly," and I actually tried to style it curly. So ever since then, I was trying to figure out how to wear it, and it was really challenging to find products because no one could tell me what to do, and I was always feeling like I was messy.
Yeah.
Because my hair never looked the same every day, and I've kind of come to embrace it, and now my curls are me, so I feel strange when someone straightens my hair, tries to blow it out, but it took a really long time, and when I would go to like the beauty supply stores and look at all of the black curly hair products and try to make those work, and they be too heavy or too moisturizing and things like that, but it really does, once you start wearing hair curly, it really does
We just wrote a story about Jennifer Lawrence because I don't know whether she's naturally wavy or curly, but she wore her hair really big and curly to a movie premiere and got blasted by a lot of fashion movie critics who said it was messy and crazy. And of course, we had an opinion about that. But yeah, I think people are just uncomfortable with that, not looking, yeah, or what their perception of that is. So. Well, I would love to answer any questions, or I encourage you to go to the site if you haven't been in a changes, trying to make it easier to navigate. We have a texture typing quiz now that kind of helps you, because lots of different aspects of your hair affect how it behaves with products, you know, porosity and density, and so we try to, our job is to try to make life easier and help people feel good about themselves and empower them.
So I've got a question, you may be able to answer that too. I keep toying with stop coloring my hair and let the gray grow out, and my hairstylist said that with naturally curly hair, that the curls I guess your hair gets drier than it already is and more uncontrollable, or, so,
Do you go to a curl specialist?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, I mean, she's diva and we don't train, so.
Yep.
This
But-
is my natural gray hair.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
And my hair has changed, the texture has changed, and I think honestly, just because I've been behind the chair for over 30 years, everybody's different.
Okay.
And your curl texture is gonna be your curl texture. And it just takes a little while for it to be healthier. My curly white hair is much softer, finer, weaker curls than the color treated curls. So, color obviously has some proteins in it and things like that give it more texture and structure. But it's really how you manage your curls.
Okay.
There's a great new book by Lillian Massey.
Yes,
who
the
wrote-
Silvers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called
Yeah.
Silver Hair.
Yeah.
One thing I was surprised about was how my perception was that you go gray, and I think this is true of curly hair, and then it's just so easy. You just let it do its thing, but going gray is definitely a process and involves a colorist, but in some cases, not all cases.
Well, it's taken me 14 months to get this much white, so I still have quite a bit of my hair that's colored. It does take some time and it's patience and hating your hair a little bit, or just the color, because your skin tone changes. But
Just like when you go curly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You have to go, you've been straightening and like, and then it has to like find its curl.
and that's what I always tell my curly girls when I do their hair. Curly hair remembers how to be curly. Straight hair doesn't remember how to be curly. So, it makes sense. Curly hair is always curly.
It may be curly in a different way every day.
I think it's a good, like, when you're curly and you're going every day curly, and it is different, there's inconsistencies. Obviously, the more hydration, the more consistent, and the cut and all that. But it's really like sort of a metaphor for life, you know? Like, you can't control everything, so it is sort of letting go and letting go like God, whatever, but, you know, like, letting it go and, like, and sort of, this is a human experience. Like, nothing is consistent, and you can't have a happy day every day.
Yeah.
So it's like still finding that love for yourself for not being super smooth, and I think it's just a lesson in sort of humanity towards ourselves and self-love.
Well, and again, just accepting whatever that hair is going to do that day.
Yeah.
And being okay. Like, I laugh about it many days when it is just like a super muggy day, which has been in Austin for the last week. It's been a different head of hair every day.
I wasn't curly growing up. I was just like kind of wavy, kind of straight, always messy. Like Raggedy Ann was my name. That's what my mom called me. So I didn't get curly until like in my 30s, and like I want it curlier the better, bigger the better, the messier, functional frizz. That's what I want. But you know, when you're working with your clients, some people have been curly their whole life and not being able to be frizz free, and so you know it's the I don't know. It's just I don't know. I just lost my train of thought.
Grass is always greener.
Yeah, the grass is always greener.
It is.
Yep.
Frizz isn't a bad thing either for a lot of our community. Frizz is the natural state of their hair, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, we consult with a lot of hair care companies, and we have to talk to